gentlemen, some of the comments about Game Pass videos are just quite interesting. And, honestly, I have to say, we really need to calm down. It's not that serious. I mean, I understand that some people want to maybe console war, throw shade, but this is the economy where you don't want to war yourself into poverty. This is the economy where being financially savvy is the flex, because the real mark of actually having money is having money. You know what I mean? You're spending your money to Sony and to Xbox and to Nintendo in lieu of an entertainment piece is, in my opinion, one of those leisures that, yes, it's nice to have access to. But to be very honest, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta be real. Their building is bigger than your house. Okay? Their planes. These execs, their planes are bigger than your car. So when we talk about a financially savvy perspective, there is nothing wrong with it. The console war can be stupid all it wants, but it will never ever be able to cross that barrier of the financial savvy mindset. That's where it just dies. You see, logic, we sometimes allow for y'all to move the goalpost when you guys are console warring. We say, you know what, let's give you a little bit of room. Let's just let you have your fun. But when you bring it into the money side and try to make it sound like, everybody else that's doing something to, in a sense, save their money and make them seem like they're crazy, then at that point, I think the plot has been lost. Because what you're doing is you're probably celebrating some level of, financial irresponsibility in a sense. I don't know. I mean, I would hate, my bones ache to, presume to tell anybody what to do with their money. However, all I can do is say, look at ways that your money can stay with you. And I will be heavily justified because these are legitimate means and legitimate ways. Ladies and gentlemen, check out some comments. This person said, please stop talking about Game Pass. Dang, nobody cares. Y'all don't buy games, and we do. Now, end of story. Congratulations, man. You buy games. We rent games, or whatever the heck it is y'all call it. Sure. Is that a flex? Perhaps you think so. But it's nice to free up some monies in today's economy more than even ever. So looking at a service like Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, Ubisoft Plus, EA Play, or whatever the heck it is, in my opinion, may allow for you to be able to interact with the video game for a small fee. And that gives you what I call a big discount. And then when that game becomes $5, which it inevitably will be, then you can go ahead and if it is that important to you, you can, in quote, own the game. This is not a sin. This is not a bad thing. This is a wise thing. Wisdom is the principal thing. Get wisdom. And in all that getting, get understanding. But this eludes a lot of people. Like this other comment that said, only unemployed people or children have that much time to enjoy the Game Pass. And, and I'm sure they write these comments and in their minds, they think this is like a statement of, the high levels of philosophy, but it's just a very stupid statement. I mean, just at the bottom of it all is a stupid statement. Let me give you guys some financial facts. America is in at least $1 trillion of credit card debt as a whole. America is in and this is like general, statistics in terms of the financial situation of the general American society. There's conversations across economists and all kinds of stuff that most, folk in our nation cannot afford a specific amount of money for small emergencies. Now, not saying that Game Pass is there to solve your financial problems. I mean, goodness, if, somebody's in a challenge, we wouldn't even recommend Game Pass. We'd say stop playing video games and get a job or go do something. You know what I mean? This is what we're grown here. Let's talk. If you're a little kid and this conversation is probably too real for you, go stand outside on the patio and watch some grass. Okay? Just look at the meadows. It may maybe help you. So again, if we really wanted to get down to it, we'd see that there's just no world in which this whole conversation of y'all's in terms of trying to make Game Pass look really weird makes any sense. I mean, you can console war you want, but then there's just the level of console war that can get into abysmal stupidity that can't be permitted. So, what are we looking at here? Value. I was making these videos and I was talking about it, and somebody pointed to me and said, ha ha ha, budget gamer here. Homie, Warren Buffett's wife was once overheard complaining about a $4 cup of coffee. If that woman who has access to probably some of the most, insane wealth in the world can tag a cup of coffee as ridiculous, a $4 cup of coffee, then I can basically tag a video game for $60 as sometimes excessive, especially in a saturated market where they're dropping them every minute almost these days. I mean, has anybody looked at what's coming pretty soon to these, platforms like Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo? Nintendo's fans eventually threw a fit. Okay, let's just leave Game Pass alone. Why did Nintendo fans throw a hissy fit at $60 games? Why? Why did they complain about $60 games? What was going on? Well, it was because simply, the games in their minds, they just didn't think that these so-called remasters that Nintendo was making was $60. Why don't you go tell Nintendo players that they don't buy games? It's only PlayStation players that celebrate remasters and all this stuff, even though they know that it's long tooth and is there to basically stick its fangs into their jugulars and suck them dry. This is the subreddit for Nintendo 4 years ago. Why is $60? Why is charging $60 for an HD remaster so unacceptable to many people? And then there's confusion and conversations in there as well. There's a difference between a remake and a remaster. So everybody has these conversations across the board as to what value proposition is. So if the PlayStation player, or say the extreme PlayStation fanboy, thinks that blowing your money and burning it at the altar of these big companies in order for you to say you buy games is some kind of flex, we should probably leave you to your own inventions, because it doesn't seem like we can change your mind. However, we just can't let you get away with saying nonsense, though. That's the only criteria. You can say nonsense, but you will be checked. And that's all it is. That's it. We'll check you, but I will never tell you what to do with your money. Does that make sense? Do whatever you want. But let's not obfuscate reality and make it sound like, oh, the service itself, Game Pass, is this. You rent games, it's unemployed people, it's Poor Pass, and all these little crappy little quips that people put out there. There is no inherent value in a digital license that you're blowing $60 for, when you can always just basically wait and pay $4 for it, and even still you forget about it. Let me give you an assignment. It may pain you. Go through your library. If you really do think Game Pass is all of this stuff and trash and whatnot, and calculate how much you've spent on video games, say in the past 5 years. Pull your receipts. If you're okay with it, then that's fine. If you're not okay with it, then also you know what to do. But for you to be able to find a way to say, I'm going to reduce this cost, is a wise proposition. It's a wise proposition. That's just my spiel. Off my soapbox now. It's just so funny to see in our society the kind of things that people will utter because of some dogma. What? Only unemployed people or children. Bro, children don't even have money to buy Game Pass. They don't even have money to subscribe to Game Pass. Where are they going to get the money from? I don't know, man. It's just weird. Peace out.